Galicia was beautiful. The countryside, the villages and towns. And of course Oswiecim. That's what we Jews, and there were over 8,500 of us called Oswiecim. I grew up here. My family was here. I spent my childhood here. It was the place we called home. My name is Jacob Hennenberg. I live in Cleveland, Ohio. I come here often. I came from a family of 5 children. Only 2 of us made it through the war. Not so long ago, Oswiecim was brimming with Jewish life. Oswiecim's children, those of us who survived, are now in the 70s and 80s. But we remember.
We used to play soccer, but we didn't have a ball. We had the soccer ball was made out of old socks and made a ball, and that's what we played with.
There was no television, hardly radio, a telephone practically non-existent, but we had a very cultured intellectual life.
I went to public school, Polish public school, and afternoon we went to a Jewish school. At 4 o'clock I used to have a break. I used to go to my grandmother, which she knew I liked the edge from a rye bread with caraway seeds. And she put some fresh homemade butter, and this was my afternoon meal.
When I was about 13, I entered the Baba Yeshiva, which was right up here, right above that building. I always have to mention about steps, because I didn't have the patience to walk on 1 step. I always walk 2 steps. I'll try maybe 1 of these, but the rest of it I have to do 1. This was 1 room, and there was a long table. This was the favorite table. And the reason that was the favorite table and everybody wanted to sit here because it was close to the stove. Everybody here studied something else, studied a different book. And everybody studied aloud. It was not quiet, it was loud.
Especially when they baked the matzahs, you could smell it in the street.
Everybody that came home, I was the little girl, everybody kissed me.
We were sitting every Saturday at the Saturday meal and Friday evening, and we were singing Zemirot, and even my mother and my sisters were singing together. This was my fondest memories that I had.
Open space with a lot of land around us, meadows, and I felt like a free spirit, you know, running around barefoot and climbing fences and trees. And I have wonderful feelings of that period.
This is the house where I grew up. What I remember about that door, a lot of things. I have a lot of memory about that door. My whole life revolved here at that door. From my youth till now, it's always on my mind. It never leaves my mind. And I'm glad, I'm really glad, because I really don't want to get it out of my mind and forget it, because I had the best times and I had the worst times. So you have to balance it. While we cannot save the lives of those who were lost or forever changed, particularly their children, we can remember them. As guardians of the past and builders of the future, we have the precious responsibility to carry with us their stories, their spirit, and their memory. Together, we'll make it so.